Okay, your desire to want more is no fault of your own. It's simply hardwired into your brain's natural functions. And in order to change that, you have to be willing to embrace the fact that you're human. In other words, accepting your natural faults and practicing better habits that will guide you down the path you want to head in, towards an intentional and purposeful higher quality of life with less. Okay, wait, I think I dove in a little too quickly and lost you. Let's start this conversation at the beginning. Now, learning how to want less is impossible to do until we fully understand why we want more in the first place. And generalizing an explanation for this isn't always fair, right? Because we're all different. We have different stories and different backgrounds and reasons why we are the way we are, right? It's what makes us unique. And while these things and ideas help shape our actions and our way of thinking, I do believe that there's one thing we have in common that's helping to drive this behavior of wanting more that's separate from the idea of it being a natural fault of ours. And that thing is gratitude, or the lack thereof. See, if we're not grateful for what we have, regardless of how much or how little it is, there will always be a void there, a sense of dissatisfaction, an urge to buy and want more. I know for me, one of the reasons I ended up with so much stuff at the very beginning of my journey, clothes and shoes in particular, is because I was never satisfied or happy with what I had. I always felt like I needed something. There was something missing, as if what I had wasn't enough, right? So how did I do it? How did I learn how to want less? And what tools can you use to do the same in your life? 4 things. Number 1 is I learned how to live with enough. Meaning I practice gratitude daily through my writing, verbally, by literally talking to myself out loud, even mentally, being conscious of the thoughts I was having and changing them if they start to drift into a negative direction. But even more than practicing gratitude every day, I would also pause at random moments throughout any given day and just reflect on how my day was going, the thoughts I was having, even my overall feelings, right? And doing this consistently helped me to understand what enough was for me and how to be happy with that. Number 2 is I learned how to control my impulses. And I did this by taking a step back and gaining an understanding of what triggered me into wanting more. See, every impulse is caused by something. And in this case, wanting more or buying more, right, could be triggered by dissatisfaction or the lack of gratitude, like I said, or it could be boredom or comparison or the idea of trying to keep up with the Joneses or any number of other things, right? But see, when we can understand what triggers us as an individual, it then allows us to control those impulses and stop them before they turn into actions. Number 3 is I learned how to let go. Let go of comparison, let go of my fantasy self, let go of the mental and emotional clutter that I had that was stopping me from thinking clearly about this behavior I had around wanting more. See, letting go and decluttering are 2 different things, but you need to do both in order to make progress on your journey. See, decluttering is an awesome offensive tool that helps you clear the clutter in your life, right? But on the other hand, letting go is a defensive tool that helps prevent that same type of clutter from returning. So if the goal for you is to want less, to own less in life, to be grateful and happy for what you have, then you have to learn how to let go. Number 4 is I learned how to build the right habits. Habits shape our lives more than we probably realize. I love this statement and the truth it holds if you haven't noticed. But see, when we implement the right habits into our lives, it makes making changes and committing to them easier because we're then making a complete lifestyle shift. So really, without building habits that support wanting less, you'll never be able to completely make this idea stick in your life. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up for me. If it made you think and it's helping you to want less in your life, not just own less, but want less, let me know in the comment section down below. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. I'm so glad to have you here. If you enjoyed this video, consider hitting that subscribe button down below and tapping the bell so you're notified every time I drop a new video. Always remember to stay true to you, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.